everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. Like Christian said in the chat, let's get this started. You're damn right. This is the start of our week. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting. And it's not close. Now, we have a very, very busy day at the brand. But as always, we've got to point out who are the biggest idiots from last night. Well, you're staring at them right in the face. I brought the crew down, but today I will do my very best to bring the crew back up. Last night, the Stars losing double overtime. It was a rough, not a horrible day, but I feel bad. But today, what are we getting ready for? Well, you know, it's one of the most unique tournaments on the entire PGA Tour schedule. Today at 3 p.m. Eastern time, me, the counselor, Patrick McDonald, the early wedge. We will break down the team event, the Zurich Classic, live from the Big Easy. And by the way, I'll be in New Orleans later this week. I will tell you why later in the week, because we are everywhere. But you guys know me. When we have a mediocre day, when I feel like we need a little pick-me-up, what do? I pick up the phone, and I call my absolute very best. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them, you love them, and we are going, wait for it, 6 wide on a Tuesday morning. So where do we start? Live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Happy Zoom call Tuesday to everybody here. Fired up today. We've got a little day baseball because of the postponements. Playoff basketball, a great time of the year. Let's go.
You're damn right. 17 games, 2 doubleheaders today in Major League Baseball. That's why the sniper, Matthew Snyder, is right here, right now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. The message of the day from me is sometimes it's good to listen to your gut. I was ready to pick the Rockies last night. I had entered about half of the pick on SportsLine on the template. And then I was looking at Kyle Freeland and I was like, something just doesn't feel right now. So I just clicked out and closed out before I published the pick. And the first time I looked up, it was like 11-0 Pirates. So, hey, dodged a bullet. But, hey, listen to your gut sometimes.
Hey, Maddie, that was the one play I did make last night from SportsLine. So thank you for subbing that in. It was 9-0. You looked down in the top of the Pirates. Damn it. All right. We'll move on from that one as well. Next, live from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. He is Zack Attack. Zack Cimini, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to see everybody. Had a good time last night with AB on the SportsLine Live show. We hit the Marlins in-game plus 216. We hit the Reds in-game minus 2.5. Had a lot of pregame picks as well that did well. And personally on the site, De'Aaron Fox hit that prop. Scared me half to death when he had 13 going in the fourth. Started scoring, had 24 late. I was like, oh, no, here we go. He's going to get fouled late and go over. Didn't score again, luckily. And also finished my taxes. It's tax day today, people. Get it done. I fired up TurboTax last night, got it done in 2 hours.
Zach, are you getting paid by TurboTax? I mean, I didn't see that ad on the show, but apparently so. Zach's bringing his partnership to the show. I like it. I'm here for it. All right, next. Last night. Steph Curry and those Warriors. Mikey B, what happened?
Yeah, that was a rough game for the Warriors. The whole Draymond Green situation. We'll see if he gets suspended for game 3. Warriors are in trouble, down 0-2. But what they always say, it's not a series until one of the road team wins. So we'll see what happens when things go back to Golden State here.
I said it when I was on with M Squared last week on CBS Sports HQ. I said, why are the Warriors minus 290? I questioned it. They don't look like minus 290 now, do they?
Nope.
Now, finally, today, I never know, but today we're getting MLB Sia. I think I got that right. Counselor of Cash, good morning, sir.
Yeah, we had a little bit of MLB Sia yesterday, but it was that Phillies game that we're going to have at 4:10 today that got postponed. I got to be honest, I actually tweeted something out because I didn't want to have 0 plays because that was my lone play yesterday. As Sniper, you queued me up. I actually tweeted out the Colorado Rockies first 5. And when I first looked up, it was like 7-0, and it was the second inning, I believe. So that didn't go super well. Obviously, it wasn't an official SportsLine pick, but I do have 2 official first 5 SportsLine picks here on the early edge.
Oh, first 5 market. Just like the first round leaders, Sia is starting to dominate that market. All right. By the way, a little added bonus for you today. The Champions League back on the pitch. You can see them all. Where? At CBS. But in the chat, as we speak, my man Buckets, who yesterday hit the first play of the show, Leeds, Liverpool, both teams to score over 2.5. Let's go. So today he's in the chat. Any questions for him? Ask him. He will answer them in real time. But, gentlemen, let's get it started. We are playing that incredibly popular game of fade or follow. We're starting in the association. Here are the 3 games tonight. The Celtics, 10-point favorites over the Hawks. The Cavs, 5.5-point favorites over the Knicks. They're down 1 game in that series. And the Suns also lost their opening game to the Clippers. They are 8-point favorites. So, M Squared, we're going to start with you. Which of the favorites are you following to cover tonight?
I'm going to start with the Phoenix Suns here, -8. However, I will say I think every favorite covers tonight. I think it's going to be a big day for the favorites, but I think they bounced back in a big way here. It was a great performance from the Clippers, really awesome win for them to steal one here. However, I think that the Suns really put the foot down tonight, take care of business, win this one by 11 or 12.
All right, so Suns by 11 or 12 to start. NBA Sia, Counselor, what say you?
Let's go Celtics here, -10. I mean, this is the same Celtics team that was up 30+ just a couple of nights ago. And now that we're not sure exactly what's going on with Giannis, I expect the Celtics to be even more, I guess, focused, for lack of a better way to say it, because they need to get out of this series healthy and just look to see how healthy the Bucks are, because I think that's their main competition. I think they take care of business quite easily tonight.
All right, Celtics over the Hawks. All right, Zack Attack, what do you think about these 3 favorites tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mike as well with the Phoenix Suns, -8. We saw what happened in game 1, and you heard Tyronn Lue in that first TV timeout discuss how they threw some different strategies at the Suns defensively because they haven't played enough with Kevin Durant. So that threw them off early. I think the Suns will adjust because we saw them get a little bit more comfortable in the second half. They'll adjust, and we see series like this all the time. You have to ignore game 1. A lot of times the underdog will win, and then it'll be an afterthought. I think the Suns are going to retool, regroup, and we'll see the limitations with the Clippers this game, the limitations of Russ Westbrook offensively and being without Paul George.
Yeah, Daniel in the chat said Suns look terrible with Booker and KD on the floor together. What happens when you go with the big 3 together? They need some time. They haven't played together a lot. All right, so we've got 2 for the Suns, 1 for the Celtics. Mikey B, talk to me.
Yeah, I'll also go with the Celtics. That game, even though they only won by 13 points, it feels like they won by a lot more than that. The Hawks are now 0-4 against the spread against the Celtics. Celtics are excellent at home. They want to win this series quick. Robert Williams is really important for them if they're going to win the title. They'd like to get him as much rest as possible with all the injuries they've had. So I think we got another blowout here for the Celtics.
All right. We do have an added play for Fade or Follow in the chat. Bergbets has just logged in. He's there. Any questions for him? Ask him. He will answer them in real time. He says the Knicks. The Knicks tonight plus 5.5. Maybe ask him why he thinks the Knicks. I'm sure he will tell you. Now, as Zach already said, the Early Edge crew, we are absolutely taking over. I've been telling you for months, don't get settled in this time slot. We're everywhere, and everywhere includes here.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reactions.
The largest final round comeback in Ford championship history. We're down to the Final Four.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
Call Early Edge all day long. All 5 of these crew members, Bergbets, Buckets, they're all on CBS Sports HQ. We're taking over, and we're not apologizing for it. Now, up next, where do we go, gentlemen? Where do we go? I'll tell you where we're going to go. We're going to stay with Fade or Follow, but we're going to bring the sniper in because I don't like making him sit on the sidelines for that long. Here are the favorites that we are looking at tonight. Yesterday, the Astros covered nicely for us. Another big-time first inning for a team in the major leagues. So, Yankees minus 155 over the Angels, who barely hung on yesterday in that day game in Boston that took 9 hours to play. Astros minus 115 over the Blue Jays. Astros are home, though. And the Dodgers, big-time scoring game last night. Way over the total last night. But they're minus 160 favorites over the New York Mets. Sniper, which of these favorites are we following to the pay window?
We're going to latch on to the Astros there. I know they started the season 7-9, but they started last season 7-9 as well, and that one turned out better. It turned out decent for them. I like Jose Urquidy on the mound here. He's had a good start to the season. I think he's a little bit better pitcher than he was last year. On the other side, Chris Bassett has had some pretty bad history in Minute Maid Park against the Astros, and just basically, I have felt like they were going to wake up eventually. Maybe last night was the start of things kind of turning in their favor and the start of them getting hot. So we're going with the Astros.
All right, Astros won. Listen to the information, ladies and gentlemen. I can't tell you that enough. By the way, Kayla in the chat says, best podcast and show in the world. Nothing compares or competes. Kayla, I agree. Write that every single day. By the way, another crew member in the chat. Oh, everybody's up today. AB, our 5-tool player. Any questions for him? It's midweek. That means college baseball. Ask him. He'll answer them in real time. All right, so we got one Astros. M squared, I'm coming to you. Which of these favorites are you following to the pay window?
Yeah, it's going to be the Astros as well for me here. I want to pick on Bassett just a little bit. He's had a really rough start to the season. We do expect some positive regression at some point. This may not be the spot for it, though. Already 5 home runs and 8 walks allowed in just under 15 innings of work here. I've been really, really vulnerable to left-handed hitters. Not good when you've got a guy like Alvarez. Looking back at last year, he actually finished last season right around league average, a little bit worse to lefties. I do not think this is a great spot for him. I think the line's mostly appropriate. I still like the Astros, though. I make them closer to minus 125.
All right, that dime, when you do it every day, that adds up to a lot. We talk about it all the time. It matters. All right, we got 2 for the Astros. So, MLB, see ya. Coming to you. What do you like?
We got 3 for the Astros. I was actually a little surprised by this line. It wasn't something I necessarily wanted to bet, but I thought this would open at like minus 130, mostly because of the Chris Bassett factor that Mike just referenced. Now, Bassett's been a little bit better. His first start was really bad, and he's been a little bit better since then. So maybe that's why we have a reasonable line here, but I'm going to take the Astros.
All right, 3 for 3. Zack Attack, talk to me.
I actually had the Giants, San Francisco Giants, written down. I know it got subbed out. It's not on the graphic right now, but the San Francisco Giants still favorite, minus 109. I looked at them. They just had a little bit of bad luck, lost in the extra innings both on Friday and Saturday to the Detroit Tigers, then postponed on Sunday. And yesterday, up 3-0 on the Miami Marlins. Logan Webb left in 1 pitch too long, allowed a 2-run shot to Jorge Soler with 2 outs in the 7th inning, lost 4-3. So I think they can reverse that today against a Miami Marlins team that still is struggling to scored just 53 runs on the season so far.
And I would yell at you for doing that, but as you know, Bucket set the precedence for just throwing out anything on this show. So well done by you. A little write-in vote for the San Francisco Giants. And by the way, LaMelo in the chat says, oh, Bucket's just looking for a fight with that comment. I didn't see the comment. Somebody reposted for me if he's in there talking. Oh, my goodness. All right, 3 for the Astros, 1 for the Giants. So, Mikey B, I'm coming to you. Are you going to pick one of these, or are you going to have a write-in vote as well?
Yeah, no write-in for me. I'll take the Dodgers with the juice at minus 160. Clayton Kershaw at home. I love it. He has a career 2.67 FIP and a 0.97 whip at home. Tyler McGill starting for the Mets. He's off to a good start, but 2 of his first 3 outings came against the Marlins. They're not exactly juggernauts on the offensive end. The Mets have a bit of a tired bullpen. David Robertson has pitched Saturday and Sunday. Adam Ottavino pitched Saturday and yesterday. So we could see some bullpen here issues for the Mets. I'll take the Dodgers and the juice.
Oh, the Dodgers. And again, 17 big games all the way. That's the last game of the night, by the way, at 10:10 p.m. Eastern time. The last of 17 games. Real quick, Sniper, question in the chat. How do we feel about doubleheaders this early in the season?
I usually avoid. I was actually looking at the Guardians. Jose Ramirez had a pretty good history against. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head who he was facing. Regardless, anytime it's a doubleheader, I just don't like it, especially early in the season. I'm a stay away guy.
Okay. All right. Stay away. M Squared has been telling you for years, sometimes the best bets you make are the bets you don't make. We learned that early on. We live by that. All right. Now we go from the fade or follow to pick the prop. And we've got some things coming. We're brewing behind the scenes. We're percolating. But I can't tell you what it is yet. But here are the numbers, gentlemen. This has become a really fun game that everybody likes to play. Mike Trout, plus 350. Peter Alonso, plus 450. Kyle Schwarber, plus 500. I saw a stat, and maybe this was from you, Matty Snyder, that Kyle Schwarber has hit in basically every single entity that he could, right? Has hit a home run. World Series, NLCS, else. Crazy stat, right?
It's both sides of the playoffs, too. It's like NL wildcard, AL wildcard, NLDS, ALDS, ALCS, NLCS. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, Sniper, let's start with you. Is Kyle Schwarber going to hit one in today's game?
Well, that hurts to bring it up like that, especially because I'm an Indiana guy like Schwarber. But I actually took Alonso today. I'm going with Pete Alonso. He's been swinging a hot power bat to start the season. The only other time I picked him in this exercise this year in Miami, he hit one in that game. So we're going to stick with that. He loves hitting in Dodger Stadium. He has great history in there, over a 300 hitter in Dodger Stadium. Had a big game last night facing a lefty in Kershaw. I think Kershaw can probably keep the ball on the ground for the most part tonight, but man, it's Pete Alonso. That's a tall order. So I like Alonso in that ballpark.
He also loves when the lights are the brightest. And when you're playing in LA, lights are the brightest, correct? All right. One vote for Alonso from the sniper. All right, M Squared, I'm coming to you. Who do you like here?
We like Mike Trout today. We like Mike Trout every day, but we definitely like Mike Trout today. Yankee Stadium. Overall favorable hitting conditions today. Love the Angels in this spot. Love Mike Trout in this spot. Not going to get cute here.
All right. Sometimes you don't got to get cute. Give it to me straight. Give it to me straight, counselor.
Yeah, I'm with Snyder the sniper again. I mean, I think that's probably the way to follow suit since he always hits these, or it seems like he's certainly close. I watched that Dodgers game yesterday against the Mets, and Alonso looked locked in. I mean, he not just yesterday, looks locked in. As far as Kershaw is concerned, I mean, I appreciate the stat Mikey B dropped with the career stuff, but I mean, he is kind of getting older a little bit, and I think Pete Alonso is going to be taking advantage of him.
Okay, I like that analysis. Mikey B, talk to me.
Give me Mike Trout too. He has 7 home runs in 23 career games at Yankee Stadium. His .686 slugging percentage at Yankee Stadium is his second highest mark at any stadium in which he has played at least 20 games in his career.
Can I please tell you that the last 10 seconds is why we do these segments? The last 10 seconds. Do the work. A little bit of homework helps so much. Mikey B, thank you very much. Short and to the point. Zack Attack, bring it home.
Yeah, I have Mike Trout as well. I might have a sight play on the Angels side, and we know if the Angels are going to win, Mike Trout's usually involved from an offensive standpoint. So with both Mikes, I'll take Mike Trout plus 315.
I am so glad you brought that up. By the way, all the picks you see on this show now, we've changed. Us and SportsLine, we are one. You can see all these picks an hour before on SportsLine. In addition to that, Christian in the chat is asking about Champions League. How come there's none on the show today? Because we have you covered at SportsLine. And Buckets is in the chat. He already gave you a play. Real Madrid to score in the first half, plus 110. Pay attention. But also, if you'd like to watch these incredible games, well, you can do it just one place.
It's European football's most mind-blowing, hair-raising, it's an absolute banger, heart-stirring competition. The UEFA Champions League quarterfinals on CBS, and stream every match live on Paramount+.
Big Cheesy says this might be the best capper crew on Early Edge. Because my stars work. We don't show up once every 3 weeks. We work every single day, which means it's time for our board today. It's a Bounce Back Tuesday. And you know I'm coming to my OG first. Well, I'm not going to do the big introduction today. I want to get to business. So M Squared, what do we like today?
We are on another team total, of course, Coach. It's the Los Angeles Angels. I played them over 4, minus 110. Still a same win condition if you're playing 4.5. The only difference is we do keep a push condition alive with a 4th run. Look, I love the spot here for the Angels. They're on the road at Yankee Stadium. Just an overall great hitting environment to begin with. Looking in terms of the weather today, it is a little cool, but we do have winds blowing out in a favorable portion of the ballpark here. Now we're going to pick on Clark Schmidt. Look, he's 27 years old, should be in the prime of his career, not having a great start to the season so far. 3 home runs and 5 walks in just 10 innings. He has some strikeout upside, which kind of keeps him relevant. He has that upside because he throws a lot of breaking pitches, a lot of pitches with movement. The issue with that is, especially when you're playing good competition and pitching on the biggest stage, which is Yankee Stadium against Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, when you miss, you likely leave pitches over the middle of the plate here. I'm talking about his sweeper and the cutter. That's what we're going to see the most here from the Angels. You know the drill. We have the guaranteed 9th inning team at bat. It is a significant deal in this ballpark with guys like Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani coming to the plate, rooting for a 5th run here for the Angels.
Educate and entertain, ladies and gentlemen. You heard him. He said, you know the drill. You know the drill, son. You heard all of it. Listen to the information. Mikey, by the way, you talk all the time about losing that push element. Is there any fear that this might go to 4.5 at some point today?
It's bounced around to 4.5. You can find a 3.5 out there if you want to pay minus 150 range. You can find 4.5s at plus 110, plus 115. I will say if you're finding plus 120 or more on the 4.5, that is a better play than the 4. If you're laying more than minus 110 on the 4, I would prefer going to 4.5.
There you go. Listen, write it down right here. By the way, more added value in the chat. There's nothing more I can do for you at this point. Look who's in there. One of our true OGs, the maestro, Larry Hartstein, is live in the chat. Any questions for him? He can do every sport. He'll answer them in real time. He liked your TurboTax information there, Zack Attack. He really liked your TurboTax. All right, so since he did like your TurboTax, why don't I come to you right now? Zack, what do we like today?
All right, and as you said, Coach, both of these plays are already on the site. I've got the Cavaliers. It looks like the Knicks are the popular play, so let's fade that here. We're going to take the Cavaliers minus 5.5. I touched on the Suns. You don't want to overreact off of a game one. Cavaliers were 31-10 during the regular season on their home floor, and sometimes you just need that wake-up call in the playoffs. They got that, and let's not forget the Knicks' big three, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett. Saturday was their first game they had played together in multiple weeks. We know Jalen Brunson was dinged up. R.J. Barrett had his time before he came back the last couple of games of the season, and Julius Randle hadn't played since March 29th, so that's a big factor in why this line losing in game one actually rose for game two up 0.5 point. So let's get the Cavaliers minus 5.5. And in the same game, Evan Mobley, player prop, points prop, under 14.5 points on the season. He shot his worst from the field, 4 of 13, when he shot a minimum 10 field goal attempts on the season. 30%. You never see that from Evan Mobley. You look at his age, 21 years old. I wouldn't be shocked if he shies away from shots tonight. And also, if the Cavaliers do build that big lead, maybe it's a blowout scenario where he's not on the floor. And last but not least, you look at this number 14.5 at the end of the season. What did he land on 3 times in a row? 14. So let's get the under 14.5.
Incredible research from Zack Attack. And by the way, why is it so important to have the picks up on the site? Because you get them an hour early. And by the way, speaking of early, use the promo code early. I'll give you 30 days for free. After that, you're playing with house money. There's nothing more I can do. But we want you to be a member. It's the best sports betting community in the world, bar none. However, gentlemen, I'm staring at 5 faces that I respect. And I will not take the disrespect that is going on in the chat right now. Osman says this. Where's the star of the show? Buckets. How do you guys feel about that? Me either. Osman, your lucky snake is running the controls right now, or you'd be blocked to oblivion for that comment. I hate when it see how it just brings the energy down. See how that happened right there? It hurts. So there's only one man I think that can bring this energy back up. Sniper, talk to me.
Well, I was hoping you weren't going to say me. I'm all down in the dumps now after that. I still haven't recovered from the Jorge Soler play, to be honest with you, from Buckets. No, I'm kidding. We're just going to have to wait a while for my picks because I'm going out west. I am going to start with, this is the first homer pick of the year as I'm a diehard Cubs fan, the Chicago Cubs on the run line against the lowly Oakland Athletics, who have an owner doing a Rachel Phelps impression right now. Just trying to lose straight up. The A's are pathetic. The Cubs won 10-1 last night. A's have Ken Waldichuk on the bump tonight. Not a very good starting pitcher. On the flip side, Marcus Stroman from the Cubs looks excellent. He's getting some strikeouts actually, but he's keeping the ball on the ground. That's his signature. One of the things the Cubs have done this season is they've concentrated on defense, especially up the middle, with a new catching duo of Yan Gomes and Tucker Barnhart. Up the middle, Dansby Swanson at shortstop was the new signee, kicking Nico Horner over to second base. Great range up the middle, especially with the shift being limited. Cody Bellinger in center. Speaking of, Bellinger 5 for 5 last night. He's on fire right now, starting to look a little bit like MVP Bellinger. Top of the order, Nico Horner on fire right now. Dansby Swanson's been hitting great. Ian Happ's on fire. The whole lineup is really bringing it. But how about P. Wizzy? Patrick Wisdom with 8 home runs, a 2-home run game last night. Cubs are going to be all over the A's again. I like them on the run line. Sticking out west, I mentioned Clayton Kershaw earlier. He has not missed many bats in his last 2 games, 4 strikeouts in each of the last 2 games. The Mets are the second hardest team to strike out in baseball. They only struck out 3 times last night, only once against Dodgers starter Dustin May. It's funny, I said the Mets strike out the second least in baseball. The team that strikes out the least is the Nationals, and they came through for us on Sunday on the Shane Bieber under strikeouts. We're going to hit it on another big name again. Kershaw, the number's 5.5 strikeouts, so 4 or 5 will do the job for us. I like the under on Clayton Kershaw, 5.5 strikeouts.
So do I. Quick question from Jordan in the chat. Would you do Cubs first 5 since the pitcher is bad?
Absolutely. Yep. Just like last night, even the A's scored their run in the first, but then the Cubs offense stormed through the gates quickly after.
I played the over 7.5 in that game, and it was that classic second and third, nobody out. You need one more run, and they couldn't do it for like 4 innings. Finally got it done.
Busted through.
Yeah, they did.
It was a wisdom 3-run bomb that did it.
That's right. It was. That's right. Oh, it's funny how that all comes together. All right, Maddie, great job, buddy. Thank you. Now I'm down to 2. And Mikey B sitting there with that look on his face. And when he has that look, I know he's a savage. So I know he doesn't want to waste any more time. Mikey B, you're up. Let's go.
All right, let's go to 2 player props from the NBA. We'll do RJ Barrett under 17.5 points at -109. He struggled in game 1. He had just 7 points in 31 minutes. He was 2 for 12 from the field, 1 for 5 from behind the arc. Including the regular season, he's played 5 games against the Cavaliers. He scored 16 or fewer points in each of them. The Cavs had the second best defensive rating in the league during the regular season. The best defensive rating. And Barrett shot just 29.6% from behind the arc on the road this season. So this game being in Cleveland, we'll do RJ Barrett under 17.5 points. And then we got to go Mr. Energy, Russell Westbrook, over 6.5 rebounds at -129. How many times does a guy shoot 3 for 19 from the field, but then end up being the key player in a win for his team in the playoffs? He seemed to be everywhere. He had a ton of energy. He was all over both ends of the floor. It helped him haul in 10 rebounds. He's erratic on the offensive end, so I want no point of his points props. But with the energy he plays at, he wants to prove his point here against his former teammate Durant. I'll take Westbrook over 6.5 rebounds.
Yeah, he had that one scenario where he had 3 rebounds in like 15 seconds. It was amazing.
Everywhere. He just puts his head down and runs in the paint. Get out of his way.
Get out of his way. I love those 2 plays. By the way, while you were giving out your picks, the sniper is getting all kinds of love. Dart Thrower says, "Sniper, you sold me easily. You're becoming one of my faves." And at the same time, Rex says, "Coach, they're saying you're outdated." Outdated? Wow.
I mean, I just made a Major League movie reference, and that's from like 1989. So what's outdated?
True that. That's all right, Rex. I'll be outdated all day and all night. But we have arrived. And the Maestro has been on a little bit of a sabbatical, as we say. It's just appropriate that he's in the chat right now because this is his spot. Counselor, you have waited long enough, sir. You are up.
Can I just say I'm so impressed with the sniper. The low-key movie references, Rachel Phelps. I know a lot of people in the chat caught that, including AB. That was just elite stuff. So I wanted to start there. And I also want to start with the Phillies first 5. Listen, this is the exact same play we had yesterday. It's -118. It's the same pitchers. So I'm not going to belabor the point like I did yesterday. But long story short, Lance Lynn has been okay. 10 strikeouts his last time out there. But they're getting the battle on the ball against Lance Lynn. And against Zack Wheeler, teams aren't doing very well. He's pitching further into games, less hits, less earned runs. I think Zack, let's put it this way. Zack Wheeler is probably my 4th favorite Zack, behind Zach Cimini, Zachary Taylor, 12th president of the United States, and of course, Zach Morris. Zack Wheeler is the real deal. So I love this pitching matchup. It's the same one we had yesterday, and we're getting pretty much the same juice, -118. The Twins' first 5 money line is my next play, and you'll hear why in a second, but the Twins are throwing out Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray has been excellent. First of all, the Twins pitching staff has been excellent, but Sonny Gray has been excellent through his first 3 starts with a .53 ERA. That's 0.53 ERA. He's got 10 hits through 17 innings. He's allowing a few too many walks, but long story short, he is playing very well, and he's getting the strikeouts too. On April 7th against the Astros, 13 strikeouts. But who is he going against? It's Chris Sale. Listen, Chris Sale might be getting into a groove sometime soon, but I don't like this pitching matchup against Sonny Gray. And we know what we did with Chris Sale last time out. We faded him, and it was earned runs for everybody. He's got an 11.25 ERA. Not very impressive. And frankly, I think he's on the steady decline. So give me Sonny Gray all day, first 5 against Chris Sale.
Are we not doing the
Totally
runs for you by Chris Sale?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I spent a good 20 minutes with myself debating whether I run that exact segment back. I think we're going to wait on it.
Okay, fair enough. Quick question from the chat from Tyler. He's at Sniper. Both Wisdom and Bellinger are plus money on over 1.5 bases tonight. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I absolutely love the Bellinger play there. Wisdom's really, really streaky, and since he's hit so many home runs recently, I get worried that there's a cold streak right around the corner, but you know what? It's the A's, so you might as well ride them while they're hot.
You're damn right. Might as well ride them while they are hot. All right, very soon, Mikey, we are starting your segment, the weather segment, very quickly. There's a lot of new people watching today. Why is the weather so important, especially when you have day baseball like we do today?
Yeah, just the weather in general has a massive impact on the flight of the baseball when it's hit, and just movement on pitches in general, which impacts how hitters pick up the way that they're seeing those pitches. So it has a pretty significant impact. It is not just the wind, which is what the majority of people look at and focus on, is just wind direction and wind speed. Certainly not the most important factor.
All right. And we are working on like a graphic and music and all that, and very, very soon, I promise you. And I don't make promises I don't deliver on. Mikey will have his own weather segment here on the show. Very, very important. But with all that being said, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. M squared, 1 play today. Angels, team total over 4, minus 110 at Yankee Stadium. Love this play. Then the counselor, 2 plays today, both first 5 plays. Money line, minus 118 for the Phillies and the Twins in Boston. First 5 money line, minus 115. Then Zack attack, 2 plays, same game. Cavs minus 5.5. They've got to get back on the horse. They lost game 1 to the Knicks. Then Evan Mobley, let's go under 14.5 points, minus 101. Then Mikey B, RJ Barrett under 17.5 points in that same game. And then Russell Westbrook over 6.5 rebounds, minus 129. He's just the Energizer Bunny right now. And then the Snyder. Cubs out west, minus 1.5 runs, minus 110. And then Clayton Kershaw, last game of the night, under 5.5 Ks, minus 115, as the Dodgers host once again the New York Mets. Do not forget a very unique week this week on the PGA Tour, the Zurich Classic. You got players teaming up, so it's different betting wise. You do not want to miss the early wedge with me, the counselor, Patrick McDonald, today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And then right after that, early edge in 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Somebody in the chat said that's EC's show. I will address that at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. But with all of that being said, we love you so much. And you know there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all in the chat. Berg Bets, Maestro, AB, Buckets. That's just in the chat. And then we have Zack Attack, Mikey B, M Squared, the counselor, the sniper. Everybody's here on a Tuesday morning. We grind. Everybody grinds for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about at the early edge. Good luck.